and you can quote this on me. There is no way the Orioles or Red Sox make the playoffs this season. Yeah, yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
I set the bar really low at the NBA predictions.
I don't think all Mavs fans look into the stats like I do.
It's not the great value Target brand toilet paper or whatever. It's the Charmin Ultra Strong.
I don't know if Nick Nurse is the coach for the Raptors. I don't know if he's the reason why they won the 2019 championship. I feel like that was more of a team effort.
The Mavs cannot say we do not miss Seth Curry shooting threes.
This questions the firing of Dwayne Casey, who I think is a very underrated coach.
To me, the Capitals really pushed all their chips for this season.
Hello, I'm Mike Grimes, and you've been listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our another MLB Opinions of the Week. We talked about some surprising teams, and we've talked about some surprising teams. And now we go to a team making a surprising move, firing their coach, and that is the Mariners. And I'm joined by Austin.
Yeah, Kevin, before the year we talked about Seattle, and we didn't really have much faith in them. And they started off the year well. They did lead the division at one point, but now they're back to 500, and they decided that after losing 7 of 8, that it's time to let go of Scott Service, the manager that led them to the playoffs for the first time in 21 years. Do you think it's the right move?
So I think in the past I've said Scott Service has been on the hot seat. To me, it doesn't feel like the right move to fire him now, because there's always been the roster issues. We've complained about the roster's issues this season, as you talked about, as you mentioned that. I would say this just screams desperation. They're very desperate to win. To me, I would have been fine if they fired him after the season. I just really don't get the point of firing him mid-season.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Their hitting has been terrible this year, Kevin. Of the 9 listed starters on Baseball Reference, they have 2 guys above 100 OPS, or should I say above league average. Those guys being Cal Raleigh is their best at 114 and Luke Raley at 113. They have some guys on their bench, or I guess now starters like Randy Rosarena. He is a 114 OPS plus. I think Dylan Moore should be in the probably getting in starting more. And they also have Victor Robles at 120 OPS plus. He has played very well. He has a 280 batting average. But, I mean, some of the problems like Mitch Garver, 165 batting average. Like that's something. Julio Rodriguez has suspiciously lost all of his power. He only has 11 homers this year and only a 675 OPS plus. His batting average is only down 15 points. So it's not like that much of a difference regarding that. But he went from hitting 32 home runs last year to this year only 11. I don't know really what to say about it, but it's something that he's completely lost. I do agree with you that at this point in the year, it's kind of a weird decision, but I do think that they maybe are trying to grab a hold of a lot of other coaches or teams that get hot after getting an interim manager or head coach, because sometimes it does work out. So I think they may be trying to grab onto that. They're only 5.5 games back of the Astros. Definitely could come back. Like, they're not completely out of it. And they're not too far. They're 7 games. Yeah, 7 games outside of the Twins/Royals for the first wildcard spot. But the closest one is the Astros. And they're not, like I said, completely out of it. There's still 30 games before they're eliminated from the division. So they have plenty of time. But they do need to figure it out quickly. I do think that the ability for them to figure it out will really come down to whether or not they can start to hit again. What do you think?
Yeah, and talking about hitting, to me, that's something that was last year. What was the batting average you said for this year? There were only 2 guys. I missed
it. Was OPS plus, and there was only 2
OPS.
guys above 100. And if you go by batting average, I mean, a lot of guys are in the 220s or 230s. They have, if you go by, there's only one guy above a 233 batting average, and that is Julio Rodriguez, but he is starting to hit homers, so his OPS plus is still below 100.
Yeah, so there are a couple. There are only one guy was not in the hundreds last year for OPS plus, but when I'm looking at batting average, there were only 3 guys above 250. Ty France was at 250. You had JP Crawford at 266, and then actually 4 guys: Jared Kelenic at 253, and then Julio Rodriguez at 275. So to me, that was their. It seems to be a constant issue. I will say, you mentioned the 5.5 games. They're not out of it. But to me, I would have trusted the guy that was in the lead of the division. I just don't. I'm not a huge fan of
their
firing
hitting definitely
managers.
was a lot better last year. It's not even. I don't think that close. Their hitting was at least hitting homers and making a lot of flash doubles and triples and all that stuff. And they got really, really close to a playoff spot. Hey, if they won the second to last game of the year against the Rangers and then ended up getting the same result in their last game, they would have won a playoff spot over the eventual champion Rangers. The difference as well with that team is that they were, I don't know, just they figured it out at the end of the year, so they got hot at the end. They have some good guys like their closer, Andres Munoz, Brian Wu, a starting pitcher that's pitched 15 games, has a 2.12 ERA. They have some good pitchers as well, so they have the guys. I could see the route. It's just going to take a lot, and they're just trying to jump on the back of, again, a lot of teams have had interim coaches before and made a run. It's not guaranteed, though. They just kind of have to hope it works out.
Yeah, there is that point, which I understand. I just don't agree with it in this case. To me, I think it could have worked at the end of the season. I would have liked to see what he had left because he did get him to the playoffs. But it was a big year for them, and it just seems like it just adds to another list of what are the Mariners doing, because it's very confusing. I think we've both agreed on that, but we'll just have to see if it works for them. So do you think it works for them? Do you think they go on a hot streak?
If their hitting doesn't figure it out, no. I could definitely see it. Again, the AL has been weak. I mean, it's been a lot. A lot of the teams are really close together. I mean, I could see the Astros having another downturn. So maybe if I had to make a prediction, though, I would say no.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with no. It just seems like a lot has to happen, and I don't really believe in this move, and I don't believe in just the interim coach and kind of that facade. And it has worked, so we'll see if we're proven wrong, and follow us along for that. And thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.